Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, Clickbaity political. Yeah, Thirsttrap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight, unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent Clickbaity. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
Yo, what's up? Welcome one and all to another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I'm one of your three hosts, Marcus Farrell, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, Hateville, Georgia, right by the airport. Ever come in town, make sure you hit me up. I am joined by my brothers in arms, the Honorable Mayor Mondale Robinson, and the amazing Pastor Benjamin Dixon. How you fellas doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's a crazy day, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, man. I feel the same way. I mean, I think the MAGA stands for we like child molesters.
it's I've never seen anything like this. I mean I know y'all. We've been in politics probably. We're all about the same age. We've been in and around the world of politics for a long time. Gentlemen, have you ever seen anything like someone blowing up their power base at this level for a group as disgusting as predators? Let's use that word so we don't get censored. Predators. Yeah.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Mondale.
Here's what's I'm a little upset. I'm gonna tell you what I'm a little upset about. I don't see enough energy behind these Christians, these evangelicals, these children-loving, these people who are pro-life, who say a woman should not have access to abortion. I don't see enough energy. Matter of fact, don't let you guys forget and the world forget. Well, let me say it like an old black friend. Least we forget. Least we forget. These are the people that stormed the Capitol.
Yes.
Where their energy at? I
mean,
the assistant FBI director made a career off of the Epstein files. You went viral more than anybody that I can think of. The FBI director said he knew where these files were. The president ran on this when he was a candidate. And now all of a sudden, this is Barack Obama's doing. They did it to scare him or make him look bad. Donald Trump literally believes his people are stupid. And he's gonna move them along. He's gonna move them along.
Well, I don't know if he can move them this time. Go ahead.
My thought process is it's not. I mean, to be honest with you, morality has never been a part of what this administration has done, right? Like, I mean, you got to think about it, right? Like, when you start the process of doing things that the universe doesn't like, and you keep going down that pathway, there's no stopping it. So, Ben, we were having a conversation earlier, and I'm going to touch on what you just said because you might be right. Here's what I mean by that. When you are immoral, when you have no conscience, when you have no decent energy as human beings, and you're running a country, right? Let's look at their actions. We're talking about the deportations of people. We're talking about Doge going in and firing people who have been, in these positions for 20 years. We're talking about going after the Department of Education, right? Like, just this is immoral. Like, these are immoral acts before we even talk about like the 7 deadly sins, right? I'm talking about like just the immoral compass of these folks, right? Because I think this is important to touch on. So as we're talking about the immorality of these folks, we have to keep this in mind. They want power, so their morals have gone completely out the door, right? There is going to be no check and balance because they do not fundamentally want a scandal, and they will deny it. And they're going to have to show I think they're going to have to show their cards a little bit before they plan on showing their cards in the election, right? In the midterms and also in the next presidential election. That's when they plan on showing, okay, we don't care about the Constitution initially, right? I believe that they were going to just hold all of their evil tactics and blatantly going against the Constitution and morals during that part when they just started saying stuff like Black people, if you have BLK on your ID, you can't vote, right? I thought that was going to be it. But now that this Epstein thing has happened, right? You remember this used to be the church of the religion of the evangelicals. Yeah, this used to be the religion of the white Christian church. As a matter of fact, white Christian nationalists. Think about that for a second. White Christian nationalists. These guys are supposed to be protecting our babies, right? Like they're protecting power for white people, right? And if we know damn well if Donald Trump or no Republican was on that Epstein list, then, and it was just a completely Democratic thing, we know damn well that this would have been prosecuted. People would have been in jail by now. Obama would have been in jail if he's on that list. Bill Clinton, Bill probably would have been caught up somewhere right now. But and it's also a reminder that, man, this is a big party and we ain't a part of it. Yeah.
That part, Doc. Here's where I agree with you 1000%. It's a bipartisan issue. It is a bipartisan issue, and I think there's two things happening right now. I think there are MAGA influencers who still think that they can play the same old, really effective tools. Their way of manipulating, their way of spinning, their way of twisting it. Right now, they're trying to spin it. You have the top influencers like Gunther Eagleman and Tim Pool and all the rest of them. They're trying to say to release the files is to release the actual footage, or to release the files is to put the victims at risk. And normally that type of spin would work. But MAGA is in the comments section ripping these people a new asshole. Excuse my language. Like, they are killing these people. Their influence has gone down significantly. I watch these metrics all the time. And the top influencers have gone from getting like 20,000 likes and 10,000 retweets on everything to getting like 500, to getting 1,000. Like, MAGA is not playing around. Donald Trump, when he first tweeted about this, or he posted on Truth Social about this, he got ratioed on his own platform. He got like 30,000 likes, but he got 46,000 replies of people who were furious and saying, this is not going to work, Mr. President. I voted for you 3 times and I'm so hurt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was this weekend. That was before these clips that we have right now, where he doubled down today and insulted the intelligence. Again, I got to get, because I want to insult MAGA still, but I have to actually catch myself. Because what good would it do for us to alienate them when they have shown their one moment of truth and one moment of humanity? The bar might be low as hell, but at least there's a bar. You know what I mean? Like they have said, no, we're not going with you here. Turns out he probably could have shot somebody on Fifth Avenue, but he can't protect pedophiles, predators. Excuse me, algorithm. Don't shut us down.
Sure he can, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna push back on you guys gently. And I want y'all to just listen to me real quick.
All right.
Donald Trump has already set up the 3-card Monty, right? So the first one was, oh, this is nothing, right? Like, oh, this is nothing. Why y'all still talking about this guy? This guy is nothing. He was nobody. He has no purpose. He was nobody when he was alive. He's definitely nobody since he's been dead for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I hear what y'all are saying. Donald Trump said, he keeps saying Russia, Russia, Russia. He keeps talking about Comey. He keeps talking about Barack Obama and Biden and the Steele dossier, because his he's hitting trigger points for his people. This is why I think this bastard Donald Trump is evil and maniacal, but also sneaky and stupid like a fox, right? He ain't really that stupid. His communication skills are crazy. He's tapping into something that they relate to. He's telling them, because he went from let this go, we don't need to worry about it. There's no dossier, or it's no Epstein files, there's no list. He killed himself. That's it. Now he's saying release everything that's credible. What he's put in the ethos is something, he's giving them time right now that they can put out something that will appease these people that does not show
his name. Mm-hmm.
So every time his name appears, so what Donald Trump is doing, he's already set up the 3-card Monte. He's already hit the Queen of Hearts too. The Queen of Hearts being his name. And the way he hit it was he's told people that this was probably created by Democrats to make him look bad. He's been saying that for 2 or 3 days now. So in those 2 or 3 days, you've seen his side, his influence that you're talking about. Because Gunter Eagle's first response was not, oh, let it go. His first response was, let's burn this down, including like Trump administration. He first lost his mind, like the rest of MAGA, when they said they wasn't releasing these files. But now he's moved on, and it's going to happen as well. What we're going to get is some watered down version of nothing. Of nothing. You will not see anything with Trump's name in it. What is released and what Trump really is doing is he's protecting himself for the leak, because the leak's going to come. We know all of it's coming. We just don't know when. But what Trump has already put out in the ethos is he's told his people, where you see my name, that was created by Barack Obama and Biden, even though it was Jeb Bush state that arrested Epstein first, and then the FBI under Donald Trump that started investigating him. But what we will see, well, it started on Obama's, but it was carried out and finished on the Trump. So what we're going to see is Trump will walk away unscathed. That's what I meant by he'll move them along. They'll be satisfied with whatever he released and say, oh, Trump released the Epstein files.
Hey, real quick,
go ahead.
Ben. Can I just go ahead and get that hotel Marcus real quick? Because I got to do it at least once, but then I promise I'll be over it. Look, is it possible that Trump has something to do with Epstein?
Absolutely.
Follow what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I think so.
Well, more like these are how conspiracy theories work, but like we got to just think about something for a second, man. Look at Donald J. Trump and tell me he didn't hang out with Epstein. like, can we just get rid of the evidence stuff and the proof stuff and all the other stuff? Can we just look at Donald J. Trump as a human being that he is, and somebody before he was in politics? Could you please tell me that he absolutely could not have hung out on Epstein Island and dealt with little girls or dealt with little humans or dealt with people like just all right. You answer that on your own, right? And the next thing is, Ben, you touched on something. I think we need to talk about it. MAGA's not mad at Trump about this Epstein files. MAGA's mad at Trump about the price of eggs. MAGA is like I'm bringing it home. If the economy was great and people had jobs and we were flourishing as Americans, the conversation surrounding Donald Trump and Epstein wouldn't be as big, because there would be a lot less pressure from MAGA. We forget that MAGA might act like they're rich white people, but they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
MAGA is the same people economically that we are in the SWATs, that we are in OBT, North Jacksonville, like all the places where black folks, their economic standards are the exact same, if not a little bit better, because they're white, right? But the price of eggs have hit them too. You can't think about it, man. MAGA has been questioning Trump since he's been in office, pretty much. It just hasn't been as widespread. If you look at the tariff war, right? The tariff war is not something that everybody in MAGA agrees with. If you look at the social services that are directly impacting all of Americans, but especially the Trump white people, and then you add on this Epstein thing, a lot of these people really do believe in religion. I'm not trying to give them props or try to say that good folks, but these folks have a moral standard that outside of racism can stand up to everything in the world. You dig what I'm saying? They like, you know, they go to church. They just want to leave church and say the N-word.
I mean, that's part of their religious tradition, ain't it? I mean, they wore their Sunday schools closed to hang Negroes. So I hear you on that, Marcus. I think though, here's what I believe. Like, I think we're gonna I saw and see this in the argument in New York against Mamdani with the establishment.
Yeah, but what argument, bro? What argument, bro? Like, what argument?
I'm talking about. So no, I'm what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, like, I'm saying, like, we're thinking that it's too far. It's much farther than it is, right? Like the Democratic establishment thought that Clyburn was going to be like the kingmaker, or he's going to bring the black vote in, and Bill Clinton endorsing Cuomo. And I think we believe that this will separate MAGA or create a split. It will not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the bond of whiteness is too strong for this to even split. Because I hear you, what I'm saying, Marcus, I hear you about these people's Christian morality, but their morality is not strong enough to stop them from stripping kids away from their parents. Their morality is not strong enough for them to stop the racism that is blatant in this administration. It's not strong enough to stop the fact that USAID closing will kill 3.3 million people annually. I think their morality is as false as their love for the Constitution or patriotism. It's all grounded in whiteness.
Yeah. I don't. We're gonna see. I think we're gonna see soon, because if he is running the equivalent of a 3-card Monty, then he's got one more play, right? And anything beyond that, he would have run his. He would have overplayed his hand. Because this is doing real damage in real time. This is a break. This is a fracture, a rupture. This is allowing doubt to come into the minds of MAGA that has never had doubt. They've never allowed doubt. There was nothing that he could ever do to make this. He's only got 3% support. And I'll run that clip for you as soon as I can find it. He's only got 3% of people who are satisfied with what he's doing on the Epstein files. 50% of America is completely dissatisfied. That 3% support, there's never been a fracture in the minds. And so once that fracture is open, he could come back and he can drop something, and it could just have his name removed from it, et cetera. I don't doubt that. Like, I think that's a standard play that we should consider. But he can't hold out on this too much longer. It's got to happen. Whatever he's going to do, he have to do it this week or next, no later than next week. Because if he keeps talking to MAGA the way he talked to them today, they're going to tune out and not care what he says next, because they're pissed. If here's the thing they're really pissed about, it's how he's talking to them about it. It's the fact that he's saying there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's a fraud. It was even when he said that it was Barack Obama and them, they were like, what do you think? We're fools? You think we're idiots? Now, help me, Lord, because I do think that they're idiots, but that's neither here nor there. They are offended by how he's talking to them. So I don't doubt what you're saying, Mundell. I think that I was trying to sit around today and think, like, how could they invert this? How could this work out for their good in the end? And I think you laid it out pretty decently, like if they're running a 3-card Monty, for sure. But I don't think he could play it much longer. I think he's got to make a move like now. And here's the last thing I'll say real quick. There's traces like this. We're in the digital age. You know, anything that's removed forensically can be reconstructed. That's how we know the video that they released was, first it was missing 1 minute. Now they've discerned that it's missing 3 minutes from the DOJ and the jail cell of, or right outside the jail cell of Jeffrey Epstein the night he died. They're going to have a hard time. And maybe that's why this is what this is all about. They're trying to buy some time to figure out how to purge Donald Trump's name, perhaps. But even when they purge it, a real forensic data scientist can reconstruct it. So they're playing with some serious fire here. And honestly, I think he just believes he can get away with it by telling everybody to move on.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Marcus.
Listen, this is the end of Trump. I know it might be a little early. I know it might be a little because here's the thing, so this is the end of Trump, but probably the beginning of legalization for cannabis in America. This is the end. This is the end of the slow. Just follow what I'm saying. He's not gonna get away with this, because when white people are angry, things happen. That's America. I hate to be like that, and there's not going to be any satisfaction from these white MAGA folks with some half-ass, oh, look, I dropped some documents, and then they're just going to go away. Nah, they want to, if there's any question about this, I promise they're going to be like a dog with a bone, right? It's already too far. They're already at that point where he can't walk that back. So it has to be full, clear, and transparent. And he's going to have to either come out with some apology letters or saying that was back then, or say something, but that's not going to happen. He's going to get caught up. So what's going to happen when he gets caught up? He's going to try to win back the hearts of the American people, right? I keep going back to the economy. There's not job growth in America right now. There's not. I believe we are already in a recession, and it has hit only Black people. I don't think it's hit. You see what I'm saying? It's going to go back to the economy, and he's going to start doing things. I don't know whether it's going to be a stimulus check. I don't know whether but he's going to do things to try to raise his approval ratings, because Trump is a narcissist, and he has to do things to impress people. And his go-to is going to be something that's going to be a little bit more socialisty, right? Because but it's not going to be socialist. It's definitely going to be in a fascist sense. But I do believe it's the beginning of the end. And also it's just, I have to hope for that, right? We can't allow these guys to go into momentum, have this kind of momentum going into the midterms next year. I'm sorry. And Democrats have to do a much better job than they're doing right now of clowning this F-boy, right? They're not doing it, right? I'm not sitting up here saying that nobody's talking about it. I'm saying that we are allowing MAGA to kind of control the conversation. And we've also not allowed ourselves to create maybe even a narrative of righteousness. Oh, by the way, these tapes not coming out, these files not coming out. It's just pure and simply wrong, right? That's the Democratic argument. They're graping kids.
I think they can't. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a bipartisan issue. What's fascinating about this to me is let's if we take it above on the political level one more time, and just think about the morality of it. There is actually a global cabal of elite and powerful people who have structured so much power and control that they can get away with preying on our children. That's a bipartisan issue. That's cross culture. There's probably maybe at least one Black person on that list. There's going to be some Christians on that list. Might be some Muslims on that list. Atheists on that list. Black folk, white folk. It's going to be a cross cultural canopy of diversity of sickos who have enough power to get away with assaulting our children. And whatever machinations Donald Trump is moving right now, I think that doesn't change the core concern that a lot of people, and this is the last thing, and I think what Donald Trump isn't considering is that there are people in MAGA who are victims of this, just like everybody else, every other community. And this is triggering to MAGA. They are really, really responding in ways that severs the ties. They're creating deep wounds. They're making permanent enemies over this issue. And you know what? I think that's the right thing. That shows that there was one glimmer of morality there.
Sorry, Ben, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I didn't mean, because you were supposed to be up next. My bad.
Go. Oh, good. I think you guys are giving too much credence to the emotional toll of like the harm that MAGA has tapped into with the Epstein files. The only reason they're excited about this is because they thought Democrats and this long list of Jews that run the world were going to be on that list. Because if they really cared about pedophilia and the acts of people that show signs that they are disgusting, how then did you look at this interview of Donald Trump with his second wife, talking about his daughter, Tiffany, when she was only 3, talking about she got her mom legs. We don't know if she got her mom's tits yet, right? This man said that on camera on live daytime TV when his daughter was 3. This is the same man with his daughter sitting on his lap said if she wasn't his daughter, he'd be dating her. This is the same man that told a child going up the elevator, in 10 or 13 years, I'm going to be dating her. So I don't see that fire. Furthermore, these are the same people, descendants of, cousins of, aunts and aunts were theirs that were okay. Were okay with Emmett Till being killed simply for some fake whistle. They've seen black boys that they know were innocent get life in prison while they walk past the white man that raped their neighbors. That raped their neighbors' children. These white people conscience is not fractured by the Epstein's files, but for they thought they were going to see a lot of Democrat names on it. The Republicans don't turn away pedophilia. Matt Gaetz is still popular amongst these people.
I don't know. I hear you. I agree. I hear your logic. I hear your reason.
Donald Trump. We know Donald Trump knows Epstein. We don't need no files to see it. They ain't frustrated by it. They ain't bothered by it. They ain't bothered by Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein. Even if you watch Tucker Carlson at Charlie Kirk's, whatever that mess is.
Turning Points.
Yes, if you watched him at Turning Point this past weekend, he was critical of the administration, not Donald Trump. The handling of the Justice Department and the FBI, but not Donald Trump. He was critical, and the criticism has not been of Donald Trump, and it will never be. This is not splintering to the MAGA. MAGA is not for other Republicans. Mike Johnson will go far as he need to go until Donald Trump make that call and say, don't ask no more. Don't ask for those files to be released no more. Donald Trump told his listeners before he got on the plane, y'all need to let it go. I don't know what y'all's sick about this for. Y'all acting like fake news. Got on the plane, went to a room full. Where was the protest when he got to Ohio this morning? Why weren't they out? If this many people are angry at Trump from his side, where were they this morning when he did a personal event? And check this out. I'm gonna stop after this. We shouldn't get too excited about that CNN poll because it's CNN. And MAGA's probably not on that list or hanging up as soon as they hear CNN.
I always want to put some money on this only because I do see your logic. And on a normal issue, I would say I agree with your logic, and I think you're making a good point. But they have vested so much of their personal souls into this narrative, even if it was driven by, oh, we're going to get Bill Clinton. Because I think most of them were like, Bill Clinton's on that list. We're going to get Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, and George Soros, they believe, are the ones that are on that list, right? But they have invested the last how many years? At least almost 10 years or more on this issue. And they have committed to it. And now Donald Trump is saying it's not real. It's move along. And so the dagger that Trump is pushing in their hearts is one of fracturing everything that they believed. I don't think they are right now calculating whether or not it's Democrats or Republicans. I think they're like, whoa, this man, wait, don't do this to us. You know what it's like? It was like when Donald Trump slipped up and said and admitted that he lost 2020. He slipped up one day and one time and said, right, I lost 2020. And they pounced on him so hard. And they were like, if you admit that, then everything else falls apart. And he backtracked. I feel like it's that level. So while I hear your logic, and I think your logic is absolutely sound, Mundell, I just feel like they've invested so much into this concept that now I don't think that they can really parse the politics of it so well.
It's
While you guys are, let me just pull up this real quick because it's been here for a minute and I don't want to let it slide. Tropical Ding Dong, y'all names be killing me, man. Love these names. Tropical Ding Dong said, question for the squad: does what is happening right now, split between MAGA and Trump, does this validate TYT's pivot to coddling MAGA? Maybe they can cleave off some of MAGA from Trump now. I hate their pivot, but
no, absolutely not. And Ben, I didn't know if you was going to answer. Go ahead.
No, you go first. I'll go ahead. Yeah, everybody shake it. Yeah,
I think the logic of people thinking that TYT could do anything to MAGA or win over any MAGA, and comparing what's going on with Trump right now and the Epstein files as a way to move forward it's just not grounded in reality. TYT, first of all, is not TYT. I'm not talking about the network. I'm talking about the two at the top. And they're the problem because their egos are what they're suffering through, or the world's suffering through, because that massive platform is being wasted on something that they're not interested in. They're just interested in relevance. So if you believe that their search for relevance is what is going to pull off some of Donald Trump folk, then you're wrong. Also, it never helps when progressives or so-called progressives try to act conservative light. When they have a choice, they're going to always choose conservative. We will not gain a single person. I'm talking about not in raw numbers. We will not move the needle with this issue. They will stay with Trump.
I want to take a long-term bet with you. I ain't got no money to bet you for real because you play with real poker chips. I'm playing with Monopoly money. However, let me answer their question first before I go back to the gamble. Here's a fundamental difference, and this is what's so tragic. If it's a tragedy and a comedy in a ha 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 those idiots over at TYT way, because they pivoted immediately before the election was over, almost. Definitely before inauguration. For sure it was before inauguration because we did all, we got into it in December, right? So they pivoted before Trump even got into office. They also pivoted on MAGA's terms. It was MAGA's framing that they were willing to go over to them and say, okay, we're going to come over to you and we'll be the reasonable progressives, right? We're the reasonable left. What we're saying is Donald Trump has potentially, and we don't all agree on the details of it, but potentially Donald Trump has gone so far as to fracture his own base, I believe, and this is where we defer a little bit, but I believe it's on an issue that really strikes at the moral core that some of MAGA, a good percentage of MAGA, cannot ignore. That's a place where I can find common ground with them, not on anything else, not on a single, and I make it clear on my post on social media. I'm going to fight you all like hell on literally everything else. But if y'all are willing to make a principled stand on this, I'll retweet you. Yeah, I'll amplify your voice. I'll egg you along. I won't mock them too much. You know what I mean? That's the hardest part is, Ben, don't mock them. Don't mock them. Don't humiliate them. But I think it's fundamentally different. TYT was going over, and you're right, Mondale. Let me correct myself. Jank and Anna were going over there on their terms, trying to move the left over to conservatism. Whereas now we're saying, hey, this is a universal issue that if this is the bar, if this is the place that we have to start, then fine. At least we can have this conversation.
Yeah. So I'm going to go from, I guess, a different angle to kind of just meet y'all halfway here. The last time the Democratic Party has had a real serious movement was I want to say, because I think the Obama movement, right, the hope and change movement was a sort of a refreshing of what happened in '92 when Clinton got elected, and the sort of beginning of neoliberalism, however you want to call it, the reframing, taking away the power from the George W. Bush and the Republicans of the 80s and kind of switching it over to the Democratic Party we have right now. So I want to just leave that there and say that was what, 92, right, fellas? 92, I think, was the sort of the year that kind of power happened on the left, where we all consolidated around a more left version of what the right was doing back then, the economics, right? And that's kind of sort of maintained it's kind of sort of maintained its momentum, even though we had George H.W. Bush, and even though we had, but it's kind of maintained its momentum as towards like what the Democratic Party movement wise has done. That means that we've gone almost 30, we've gone 33,
wow.
33,
Yeah.
34 years since we've done anything different when it comes down to how our movement works right now.
Wow.
With that being said, the Trump administration, listen, they have benefited off of like multiple things, like the sort of trickle down Republicans of the 90s, the warmongering Republicans of the early 2000s, right? Then they had the Tea Party, which kind of morphed into the MAGA, right? This is how, the reason why I'm breaking this down is because, and what it has to do with this situation is, Ben, you said earlier how these guys, this is a nonpartisan issue, right? And then we started talking about TYT and how TYT pivoted to the right when like before the election was over, which is one of the reasons, classic reasons why our brother right here quit on air, and also one of the reasons why Ben dragged them so hard afterwards, right? And that was epic. I didn't say nothing because I kind of wanted to see where this thing was going. The one thing that y'all know Marcus is waiting on is the one thing that hasn't happened, and this is why what concerns me about the New York mayor's race is that in each time that the Republican Party had a movement building moment, they all consolidated around the furthest reaches of their party. They all consolidated around the crazy, ironic ideas. The Tea Party was nuts. MAGA is nuts, right? Far right ideology. Far right ideology used to be the evangelicals of the 90s, right? No abortion, like none of that stuff, right? I just want everybody to follow me here. I'm gonna get into my point. Now it's time for the left to actually make our next move to the far left. It's just time, because the problem is that everybody else in the political spectrum is money driven, including MAGA. They just don't know it as well as everybody else. But MAGA is supportive of big business. Moderate Democrats are supportive of big business. All of these guys have a kind of the same overall ideology. It's just that some of them say the N-word and some of them don't, right? Pretty much they do. A moderate Democrat is the same thing to me as a leftist Republican. I don't see the difference. So where I'm going with this is, because of what's happening in New York and because of what's happening where the Democrats aren't consolidating around the next big idea. There's only one idea left, everybody. There's only one idea left. That's a more of a democratic socialist country. I'm not sitting up here saying we got to get rid of democracy, but what I am saying is the only thing that's left, because more moderation is not going to help anything, right? We haven't heard a decent argument against the Democratic nominee in New York at all. There has not been a good argument, right? It's either we love Israel or how we going to pay for it. And how many times have we heard that, yet it still go overseas and spend billions of dollars on war? How does this relate to like the TYT issue and whether we're reaching out to the right people? The right people now are poor people in America. The right people now, the people that really matter right now, are poor Americans. Poor Americans need more than trickle-down economics that has never worked. They are cutting jobs. They are creating autonomy. They are creating AI. And they have no version of socialism to back up the people that used to work these jobs. They have no version of anything. So how do we reach out to these people, man? We have to do more government-based things. But you can't cut the taxes, then give rich people tax breaks, then they piss on our head and call it rain, and then we expect, and then there's nothing left for the American people, right? There's nothing left for us. So Democrats don't want to accept that because they are tied to the same corporations as the Republicans are. Let's keep it real, Mondale. You in the movement space and you raised a whole hell of a lot of money, right? I've been in the movement space and raised some money myself. The rich people in the movement space aren't giving out money right now. There's people who haven't even made budget yet when it comes down to these big organizations that you normally hear about the year before election. Why am I bringing this up? Because our side of the house needs to consolidate around progressive movements, and we refuse to. While we could be taking this moment to galvanize a better Democratic Party, we're not doing it. While we are actually spending, we probably already spent over $100,000 to $500,000 just arguing over who's gonna be the independent in the New York mayor's race.
That part.
What are we doing?
I think what we're doing is we stop calling ourselves we when we refer to that level of behavior, because we ain't those type of Democrats. Nobody on this show. Nobody on this type of show. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way I would ever call you the same type. Your politics are not Eric Adam politics. Your politics definitely ain't Cuomo politics. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing about this Democratic Party. We have all of us folk to see the world like we see the world, and them under this same tent. What we do know though is I think what we see though is the Democratic Party may not be moving, but there are candidates like Mamdani that are moving, and people following him. When you see this person who goes up against the establishment, we're talking about Cuomo in New York, guys. His dad is a Cuomo, right? Or was a Cuomo. When you talk about this guy going against the sitting mayoral candidate, when you see him get more votes than any Democratic candidate ever in a primary since the history of New York primaries for mayor, then you know that the people are saying, this is what we're for. So it don't matter that the party is upset that their billionaire friends are upset. It don't matter that the people that own these LLCs that's buying up all these buildings so that people can't rent them, turning them into Airbnbs. It don't matter that they don't want rent freeze, because so many people do. It don't matter that large grocery store chains like Wegmans and others don't want to see government-run grocery stores that give people affordable and free fresh food. It don't matter, because so many people in New York want it that they can't figure out how to catch this guy. And what I mean by that is you got Cuomo putting out a walk and talk video where he's standing still. First of all, guys, if you're gonna do a walk and talk, walk. Secondly, if you're gonna do it,
Did it look like Spike Lee?
Yeah,
Did it look like one of Spike Lee shots?
It was horrible, man.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
My man standing there, they literally, they're trying so hard to make him normal. They took a picture of the guy that was filming him, Carhartt jeans, and him trying to act like he was talking to a dog on the sidewalk with him squat down. You can see in the video that this is not a natural conversation, interaction. The filming, somebody showed the filming of them, the behind the scenes of them making the commercial. It's bad. So, but what I'm saying though is, what we see this, the world is on fire right now. You're about to watch white people. Watch what I tell you. You're about to watch white people run away from the New York situation and go get at the Somalian brother who's running for mayor in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. You want to know why? Because he's equally progressive. He's trying to Donald Trump proof Minnesota. He's trying to he said part of his campaign is we need to do rent freeze as well. We need to Donald Trump proof our politics. So you look at this out of touchness. He's telling the other candidates, please drop out. Whoever is losing the worst, please drop out, and then let's consolidate. This, you guys, all of them combined are like 10, 15 points behind.
That's right.
Mamdani is right now. Oh, and all those other people that had a problem with Mamdani and black voters, he's winning. He's beating everybody, including the black guy, Eric Adams, with black voters.
Excellent.
Like I said in the primary, you don't win all the black districts if black people ain't capping for you.
I mean, how they acting, Mondale, how they acting is clown shit, bro. Like
it is.
Like I can't and here's my thing, like they are so out of pocket and out of line. The establishment Democrats, we've never seen them act so late. Like they are on some clown, and it's like well, yeah, it's because here's the thing though, like as a person who typically supports the most progressive candidates, not all the time, but I do for the most part. Like, I see every election how they try to shout down people for thinking about third parties and thinking about independent. Just follow what I'm saying to you, man, because we got to bring some brevity and levity to this conversation. The ethos of you can't win is only cool when it benefits you.
Mm-hmm.
No. The ethos of you can't win. Can I take it a step further, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ethos of you can't win is grounded in white supremacy.
Mm.
The culpability argument has always been a white supremacist argument. You see Democrat candidates and the party and his establishment, when they're black statewide candidates, they get less money than white statewide candidates all the time. But here's the beautiful part, though. New York is where the world is going, where America's going. New York has one of the youngest electorates in this country, right? So New York, majority of New York voters are under 50. So it don't matter what these old folk Bill Clinton, bringing in Bill Clinton and Clyburn to New York tells me how disconnected this party is. I wrote about that, selfish plug, in my article about Mamdani on my Substack. And it's just like, it's not that you look at this. They're trying so hard. Young folk don't iron, bro. You stupid, you got an iron boy. Don't got no iron boys, goofy. You goofy.
They got space for it.
No
apartment in New York has space for an ironing board.
Yeah. I mean, but he in somebody's professional kitchen eating their food.
But look at the time. Look at the time on the clock in the background, man. He don't even have the time, or either that, his clock is bad. There, look, hang on. Where is that?
Yeah, I see it. He got 8 o'clock in the morning, but the clock says 10 o'clock, either at night or in the morning.
It's 11 o'clock on that phone, on that clock, 9 a.m. Go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this is like like he up there drinking. So listen, I'm gonna show he is so cringe. Go back to that clip, Ben. I'm gonna show you
which one.
When he was in the kitchen.
Okay,
go for a little bit.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Also, my man shaving. Yeah, my man. Look, New York has the pride of New York. He did a video. This is how stupid he is. Go back a little bit more. Right? Well, not that clip. You gonna get to it. Keep going. I'm gonna stop you when I need to stop you. Where is it? Right there. Stop right there. My man is in New York. New York prides itself on its water. The quality is water. It's so important to New York to say that they have the cleanest water in this country that he did an ad a couple weeks ago before the Democratic primary talking about him drinking New York's best water. And he's in there now showing that he don't drink New York water. He's pouring Saratoga water in his salad. Blend it. You don't even use regular water to blend it. Like these people are out of touch. And then he ends the video by hopping in the back of a car. That ain't regular in New York. Most people in New York hop on a train or walk down the street. Every time you see Mamdani, you know where he's at? On the street with somebody else, asking questions, not talking at people. Every time you see these guys, they talking at people, not asking a damn question. They don't get these small things, but the signals are there. That's why this was the most participated Democratic primary in the history of Democrats in New York, because they are tired of this. Go ahead.
Mardell, quick question, bro. You said talking at people.
Yeah.
You know who did that a lot?
Yeah.
Obama.
I was about to say Barack Obama.
Obama still do it. He just did another interview where he was talking at people again.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, that whole style is just like, I hope it dies, man. Like if Clyburn goes and endorses somebody, I want that person's campaign to go bankrupt the next day. For real, man. If these heroes show up and I think that every single time a candidate says or an elected official says he can't raise the money or he can't win to someone, that's like an automatic disqualification for anybody under the age of 50. I think these guys are so lame. And like, here's my thing. I hated these guys for so long now, personally. Like, I just hate them organically, politically, hate these people. Yet my career is in politics and in cannabis, but I hate these people, right? I don't hate I don't have a work hatred for anybody. Like, if there's another company that's selling more cannabis products than mine, man, good job. Let me try to figure out what they're doing, right? If my team doesn't win the Super Bowl, and they never do, I don't hate on the new team. The Jaguars suck. Yes, Travis.
Oh, I'm glad you showed. I'm glad you showed what you just showed, Ben.
Yeah, yes, Travis Hunter just got down there, but the Jaguars suck. I ain't gonna hate on
if they happen to,
everybody else. But when it comes down to these guys expect to win off of doing the same thing over and over again and getting different results. And it's just at this point, right? At this point, is it cool for me to say yet what we gonna do about this party? And do we stay in, or do we keep having to figure out? Because I need an answer. I'm not even playing now. I need an answer now. Like I'm tired of playing the whole third party bad, independent bad. I don't care no more. Like these people that I hate are in the same party as I'm supposed to be in, and my auntie's supposed to be in, and my cousin's supposed to be in, and they supposed to represent black people. Yet anytime that anybody comes up with a new idea that could possibly help black people, they want to actually support the person that's not going to do, that's already proven in this case that they haven't done a damn thing for us, right? Or poor people, or poor white folks, or LGBTQIA. As a matter of fact, the last mayor was the porter-in-chief of his city also. So, like, I mean, we don't have to get into the conversation right now, but how many times? What else? How come, like I look at these cats like I look at MAGA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at them like I look at MAGA, but not too differently. And I think, Marcus, I think your answer is in Mamdani. And the piece that I wrote was not about like Mamdani as a person. The universality, that's what I said, the universality of Mamdani is that he's talking about the problems that people are suffering through. The reason people lose sleep at night. He's talking about that. Like, and people can pretend all they want to, but these are real issues. And the only people that don't seem to get that is the tone deaf politicians, the political consultant class, and the elite. The elite. And I think the way forward is you don't need that. You don't need that coalition to win. That's what Mamdani is showing you. I can be down the street from Wall Street and mollywop them. And he did that in their backyard. Billionaires talking against him. So when the party starts speaking up on behalf of billionaires, you can't do nothing at this point because their candidate can't be a Democrat because I just beat him in the primary. So I am the candidate. So you just beat. You just beat with the people. You just bring in more people to beat them. Watch. Look what's happening. My man got people on the street. This is what I wanted to see you. The ad itself is dope with him walking. Just look at the people, the different age and colors of people that's walking by him, snapping pictures. Like, oh, Jack, that's Mamdani. Just regular New Yorkers, dog. A city that's not phased. A city where stars walk down the street all the time. People just walking behind, like catching pictures of my man. Look at him. You see the crowd to the left?
Yeah, I had noticed that.
If you go back to every clip in that video, old people, young people, Muslims, and others are people. Well, I shouldn't say Muslim because I don't know what their religion is, but the people that are wearing covers, just snapping pictures, dog. Like it's something different about dude. And his suit looked like he bought it from Marshalls.
I'm about to say, man, and I think that's a flex though, because he was born into money, so he got a nicer suit.
He born into a professor. His dad was. I mean, so like he wasn't poor, but I think he lives out his values.
It is a good touch, though.
Bro, I'm telling you,
it was a brilliant touch because I look at it, I said, wait a minute, my suits fit like that. What are we doing here, Mamdani? But to your point, I think it's the intersection. Yeah. It's right here. It is the fact that the establishment, I think the biggest thing that we have to do is make sure that this virus that is the older establishment doesn't get spread down and empower too many of the younger ones. Right? There are young establishment players who want to take that power and revitalize it so that they can just move into those positions. Those are the people who sit around and push around ancient senators and until they die, until like 90 years old. Those are people who want to just step in and say, oh, it's my position now, right? And then you have Mamdani who's coming around the bend and said, no, we're going to do it this way. And then he wins, and then he creates a whole new coalition. And then here's the thing, right now we're at a really important inflection point. What's it going to be, Democrats? Is he your candidate, or are you all going to back somebody else? Are you going to destroy your coalition and back somebody else? Because at that point, then I think any voter, I think the voters will make that decision, right? The voters in mass are going to say, hey, we saw what you did in Buffalo in 2021 with India Walton.
Yeah.
And if they do the same thing, they're going to say, hey, we saw what you did to Mamdani in 2025.
Yeah.
So we're not going to vote for either one of y'all. And that'll make the decision. That's what's going to happen. So I think this is a particularly important flashpoint.
Ben and Marcus, we said, one sec. I'm Marcus, I'm so sorry, because it's your turn for sure. Can you put up Pamela Jones' comment? Because I want to respond to this. Because I think this is where we get ourselves in trouble when we're trying to like this is my critique.
This one right here.
Yeah, this is my soft critique of the left, because we're not the Democratic Party. And I know where it comes from. It comes from people selling us out. But let me tell y'all something. When we fall for these ideas like this, we become tools. And I'm not calling you a tool, Pamela, but I'm saying this information is misleading. He hired someone who worked on the press team, on the comms team for the DNC, for candidates, and also for Obama, to be his communication director. The communication director does not drive strategy. That does not mean that he hired some top DNC advisor. We should acknowledge that this person has a background. We should also acknowledge that we need someone that can speak to those establishment folk to bring them on in this coalition.
Sure.
Because our language
and also it's okay to make a paycheck. Hey, look,
and it's also thank you.
I feel like it's okay to make a paycheck, right? Like, hey man, look, first, it's not gonna work. I'm not mad at the fact that I'm not mad because Zoran might lose because of this, because he's not gonna lose. The Democrats can do whatever they want to do, and he's not gonna lose. I'm mad at the fact that they're just doing it. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. And I wish we could just rush into the results so I can clown Simone Sanders, so I can clown all these, so I can clown them. These monkey ass niggas who get on television and just say everything establishment is okay. I don't care. No. Because we got to stop playing like some of these cats who get power. They don't complain when somebody's smashing, when somebody's destroying a Bernie or a leftist. They don't say a word. They don't say a word. They don't say a word. But then they go and show support in media. Like you'll never see anybody publicly critique Clyburn because they worried about some favor getting done against them, right? Nah, man, we gotta stop playing around with these folks. Plus, they're gonna lose. So all of a sudden, the first major progressive win in a long time for America, for the far left or the left, they're gonna try to. They literally watch in real time how they try to change the narrative. All of a sudden, everybody wants Medicare for all. All of a sudden, and these are the same folks that kept it away from your ass for years. Went out of their way to keep it away from your ass for years. Like, it's not like so overnight, because if the move, understand something, people want to keep their power. People are going to want to consistently keep their power. So how can you keep power if there's a movement that you're not a part of? You ain't never been a part of. Some folks have sold the movement out and still got elevated because of it. Right? So you go from this, you know. I said Simone, there's a lot of other people in this piece that we could talk about. And if the chat and if the inbox and if your little chat room group that you're in start talking, well, Marcus said this, that, and the other about your own show. I don't care, man. Y'all are sellouts. Y'all sellouts. And I noticed the silence when it comes down to this, but there was never any anti support for people who went and did the opposite thing of this right here. We had to fall in line. Remember this now, because this pisses me off. When I did the same thing, or when some leftists did the same thing, got on television and said we need more options than a certain moderate candidate, We got yelled out the room, bro. So what? So it's okay because if Clyburn say it's okay, I'm gonna give me some fish fry fish. Man, what the hell is going on, man? No, so it's gonna be fun watching this. And guess what, man? I hope it repeats across the nation. That's why I keep asking people who watch this show, people who I know, run for office. Listen, Dan Osborne almost won Nebraska, and he never put a suit on. I've never seen, he only wore flannel that whole campaign. Imagine a normal person who's talking about progressive values, like making sure that there's a higher minimum wage, running around South Georgia, going from farm to farm and from town to town and from plant to plant and saying, hey, listen, I think we need Medicare for all. We need a true jobs program. We need a guaranteed jobs program. We might even need a universal basic income down here. We got enough money to do it, right? If we imagine that in Florida, we act like New York's the only city. I'm gonna tell you something. Atlanta, the metro area, there's a lot of people here. Miami, there's more than Cubans in Miami. And now the Cubans are starting to realize that they ain't white. So that's right. I said it. I said it, South Florida Cubans. Y'all ain't white. Trump don't care about y'all either. Right? Or we could go further than that, like Orlando, Charlotte. There's so many cities in America where a progressive could take over and just be normal, right? And run a good campaign.
So let's also say that in rural spaces, progressives could win too. I think
that's what I meant.
Yeah. So I think you're spot on. I mean, we see that. Somebody said, "Where's Monday?" They can't see me.
Hang on.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, cool. So listen, I think for me, Marcus, I think it's happening though. I mean, it's an awakening happening. And we're talking about real progressives. We ain't just talking about just because you're young, then you're progressive, right? The boy in Florida, what's his name? Max. What's his name?
Frost.
I mean, you know, come on, man. This is that Frost and the guy from Tennessee with the fro who tried to sound like Dr. King trying to speak. That's not, you're not even reaching your generation acting like that. You're performing to them. And I think that's a space for it, but it ain't the place for it. If you're talking about something that's going to bring in a wide swath of folk. Your boy Omar talking about we need a $4 increase in the minimum wage in Minneapolis. I'm telling you, he's going to scare them white people more than Mamdani because he is blacker.
Mm-hmm.
He has black skin like us. And they can't believe. I mean, they're saying stupid stuff like, can you believe a Somalian is running for mayor in Minneapolis? And I'm like, this is how I know your politics aren't serious. Minneapolis, Minnesota,
is a Somalian city.
It has more Somalians than anywhere except for Somalia. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I can believe it. The problem, though, their whiteness has them. And then these people don't even act like they don't get the benefit from a $4 raise if he is to win and his policies are successful. I think, though, Marcus, here's what's gonna blow people's mind, because you said something and we breezed over it 3 or 4 times to get back to this. Is in our earlier conversation about Epstein. You kept saying you believe that we're in a recession. That New York Times article was scary. That last month, 2% hit rises in consumer cost. That is scary. That sounds like stagflation, guys. So I told you when you said it, Marcus, and we didn't address it. But I'm telling you, you said it's just for black people, and I agree with you, because what happens is people they're trying to set up these terrorists in a way that people might not feel them immediately, but black folk, poor folk are feeling them already. So I think I hear you, and I think some economists that are afraid that we are getting extremely close to a recession, like you're saying. And I don't know why you think the feds ain't touching that interest rate, because they know this can get great real quick. And Japan is about to have an election in 2 months, so they not about to sit back and let Trump push them around with no 35% tariffs on them cars, when so many companies are importing goods to Japan. You ain't just about to get away with that from America. I mean, so I don't know what's gonna happen, man.
Can I say one more thing? Like, first off, yeah, I'm just my Americanism, my patriotism, my being fully aware of the modern culture of America. We're in a recession. It's not like I don't have to be an economic person to know we're in a recession. It's coming, and when it comes down to the Black community, it's here. It's here right now. It's here right now, and we can play games all we want to, just because it's not in the news, just because a couple of brothers got a couple of jobs, just because no. The price of eggs for 6 months straight has gone nothing but up, and we were already living paycheck to paycheck. The hookah lounge. Lounges are starting to close down in Atlanta, bro. The strip clubs are starting to go this little skimpy. We are in a recession. I got different readers on my recession, what I see from a recession, and when I see less cars down at Magic City on a Monday night, oh no, we in a recession, bro. Like, what you mean? The whole parking lot ain't packed at Magic City, and y'all. I mean, these are markers. I hate to be like that, but they are markers. Another thing, real quick. Hey, them sisters in Minnesota, hey, Smiley said there's some beautiful sisters up there, man. Y'all are beautiful people. I done been up there. Hey, it's all right to compliment people. There's some beautiful sisters up there, though. I'm talking about there's some pretty ladies up there. All right.
We can't say amen to you for obvious reasons, but we let you enjoy the game.
There's gorgeous people. There's good looking people. Y'all can't say there's good looking people as married men.
We can say I married a good looking person.
That's right. I
married
a beautiful.
Is there anybody else that's good looking?
No.
Name them all, Mondale. One by one.
Don't nobody else look good as my wife. There you go.
Yeah, listen.
Everybody comes in second or last.
Oh man.
Here's the last thing I want to say about this thing, man. We're gonna have to we're going to see these people start taking losses. And it sucks that I got gray hair by the time that I wanted to see it, because I've been thinking the same thing for about 20 years, 25 years right now about progressive politics. Hey, folks, y'all remember Fight for 15? That was a progressive idea, right? These monkeys just started talking about $15 an hour 2 years ago, these same folks, right? And here's my major point I want to make. Black people, clip this. Get ready to clip this one, Ben. Black people, don't y'all feel disrespected by Jim Clyburn thinking that he can control your vote by going anywhere he wants to and endorsing whoever he wants to, and you're supposed to fall behind him? Isn't it an embarrassment and difficult on your integrity as a human being and as a self-thinking person that a elected official, especially Black people in South Carolina, that your representative thinks that it is up to him to where the Black people's votes go? I understand an endorsement, but when he gets called in like a hitman for Black people across America to make sure they support whoever the hell he wants to, whenever the hell he wants to, and he's the end all be all when it comes down to black people, but yet he still has one of the poorest districts in America, but one of the blackest districts in America, aren't y'all upset? Aren't y'all a little bit disrespected? Where does the disrespect come in? Where's the self-pride of being able to choose people who does things for you and stop capping and not bring home the bacon, as Corrine Brown used to say down in Jacksonville, when she used to get money to come to North Jacksonville? Clyburn is a fool. Clyburn is the degradation and also the destruction of Black politics in America. Clyburn is one of the reasons why we can't wrap our minds around the future of what it could look like to be in a healthy America as Black people. Clyburn is one of the main reasons. You haven't seen Clyburn push a major bill to get the minimum wage raised in your state, have you? South Carolina? South Carolina had one of the highest percentages of enslaved people across the nation, and he ain't said not a damn word about reparations. But yet he got the nerve to not say a word about reparations and stick his big head in New York people business. He flew up to New York to endorse a dude, and he can't fly up to DC and get you some money. You still got a poor-ass district, South Carolina. Orangeburg. I know y'all. I know who y'all are. I know who vote. And guess what? Your grandma wrong. Your auntie wrong. I will say that. I'll say that out loud. They wrong. They holding on, just like a lot of these old black people in America right now are holding on to this dream of the civil rights movement and I walk with King. That shit ain't getting us nowhere, bruh. And we keep repeating the same thing and allowing these same people who we're supposed to just have this massive amount of respect for. Nigga, we are broke. Our schools haven't been funded when a Democrat was in office. What are you talking about? Support a Clyburn and a Congressional Black Caucus right now. What is y'all doing? Y'all speak more on goddamn Israel than you do on the hood. I'm done. Supporting these half-ass
Speak more on Israel than they do on the hood. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Am I frozen or y'all frozen?
I'm frozen.
I could be frozen.
Me and Mondale, I can see you.
Am I moving?
Now you stuck, Ben.
I'm frozen? Okay, but y'all can hear me.
I can hear you.
It took us off.
Hang on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ben.
No. I was trying to get myself unfroze. Go ahead.
I think that anger that you hear, Marcus, is the reason the party is in trouble. What I mean by the party, I mean these older candidates. And I hear the people talking about, Clyburn, they can see how Clyburn can reach the older voters. The problem for that is sheer numbers. The baby boomers, people, let me explain something to people. Older black voters have an outweighed like representation in what it means to be black in America and our politics. What you mean by that, Monday? Make it plain. Let me make it plain for y'all. Baby boomers were almost 90%, 80% white. And then everybody else was something else, right? So I guess 12 or 13, 14% were black or something like that, right? We got to remember that baby boomers was the largest generation until millennials. Millennials bigger than baby boomers, right? And millennials are 42% something other than white. Then you got Zers, which are also bigger than millennials, which by default makes them bigger than boomers, are also 40% something other than white. So you have more black people that are younger than were ever older. And we're trying to tell these people, or we're worried about if Clyburn can control or move older voters when we can't even move younger voters when they make up a larger majority of our base. I think that anger is represented in what you're saying, Marcus. I also think we're going to see what it means for the establishment to get in line when they recognize that the sea has changed. Your monies, your relationship with billionaires, with businesses, none of that will be enough to stop what's happening when people start feeling what a rent freeze can do and how it can alleviate people's problem and find out that it's not a pie in the sky thing, right? When people start seeing that you don't have to take AIPAC or any super PAC's money and still win elections. You don't have to take the Democratic consultants' word on how to run an election. You don't have to be consulted out of saying progressive things because it's fear. When people see this, and they're going to see this election cycle, we got some great candidates right now, super progressive candidates. And I think it's going to change the context of this party. And I'm super excited. And I like when we say, I think, Ben, you said it earlier, don't let it spill too much into the young ones. We need to make these young folk that see the world like Clyburn see the world feel isolated from our party.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how they can live in America and see the world like I don't understand how they can live in America, be from where we're from. Because see, these black folks that are younger ones, they're from where we're from. I don't understand how they could, like, I get the money part, but how can you see the world?
They don't.
I'm too much of an empath, man. That's my problem, folks.
It's money and opportunity, right?
Yeah.
It's their lane, right?
Yeah.
Because it's unless the check is huge, you know what I mean? Like the money is maybe, but it's delaying the opportunity for them to get and advance. I think we need to alienate them. I like you said, Mondale, I think we need to humiliate them into the dregs of society and let them go back and rethink their lives. You know who else we need to do that to? Any black person taking money from APAC. Any black person taking money from APAC, you don't deserve your melanin. You don't. You don't deserve to be able to speak for us. You don't deserve to be able to speak at any conference, at anything. Any black person who is still standing by Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and what they're doing in Gaza. Anybody, period, right? Because it's not just a black folk thing, but when you say, how can young black folks see, what's up, bud? You need help? Okay, I'd let her know. I'll call her. My mama want me to call her. All right. Any black folk who is young enough to have experienced what these generations have experienced and then still side with establishment Democrats, that's a problem. Just like anybody who is young enough or old enough or black enough to see what's going on in Gaza and still stand by Israel, that's a problem. But what we got to do, though, is we got to identify them, and we got to make sure that our coalition is solid enough to absolutely corner them out. It's now or never, right? This move with Zoran, this move with our brother out in Minneapolis, this move with just the change in the wind when it comes to public opinion around APAC, around Gaza, around all these issues. It's like right now is the seabed change. And here's the thing, though, the coalition that they're trying to form to stop us. Oh man, that's the most fascist coalition I've ever seen in my life. The people who are lining up behind Eric Adams.
Man.
I never seen fascism lying like, and he's up here sharing videos of people with some of the most hate-filled rhetoric you ever seen, just because they oppose Mamdani, right? Just because they call him a communist, just because they call him a socialist. That's the other thing. Anybody in their right mind who is still standing behind capitalism as we have it in the United States of America, right? It's now or never, man. We gotta put heat on them like never before, because otherwise that coalition will replicate itself in this next generation, and we'll find ourselves controlled by that real small group. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna be a lot of them, but it's gonna be a small, diverse group of millennials and younger Gen Xers who inherit the ranks from Jim Clyburn and from Hakeem Jeffries and from all these other players. So if we don't hurry up and get our people in there, and I think the way we do it is coalescing right now.
Hey,
This is why we
Ben,
can't win. This is why we can't win.
real quick, Mondale. Ben, I don't want YNs to turn into FNs. Second, like I don't, and that's important.
That's
Second
a good
thing
one.
is you can't support, you can't went and protested George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and then support AIPAC and Israel. Can't.
And
Not in your same not in your same career, right? Ben, would you do me a favor real quick and bring up a much better, much healthier, much better person from South Carolina? If you go over to the Clickbaity channel, would you bring up Robert Smalls video? Because I do want to talk about that, because it just makes me think about what real freedom looks like and what you really willing to risk on it. Go ahead, Mondale. When he brings it up, I want to just talk about it for a second.
Well, I just wanted to say I just want to add on or Eric Adams to that.
Yes. Yeah. You said, you talking about in our chat?
Yeah, no. If you go over to the Clickbaity channel,
YouTube channel,
I got an announcement to make real quick for everybody. If we go to the Clickbaity channel and look at the videos, that video of Robert Smalls, the baddest. Yeah. So, and real quick, folks, I just want everybody to understand this. The next time you see us, no matter what, by that time next week, and I will definitely run some of these designs by Ben and Mondale, we will have an official Clickbaity store for the first time since we've been on. Nice. That's right. On the Clickbaity channel, we will have pictures of us three arguing, some words that were said from the script, and also just a couple of t-shirts. Y'all can go over there and buy some stuff if y'all want to. You can also, hopefully Ben will allow us to advertise it on his channel too. But yeah, we're going to launch the Clickbaity store. It should be done by the next time we go next week. Just basically our logo. right? And then some of the work that was done by our brother, the letter hack. And this right here is
enslaved, which means born into
started from the beginning. I just want everybody to hear the
designed
beginning.
to break him. But what they black man to today, we're talking about the baddest black man to ever walk American soil. And most of y'all never even heard his name. Robert Smalls, the man who finessed a Confederate warship, turned around and helped win the Civil War, then bought the house he was enslaved in, and still had time to write laws for future generations.
All right,
This ain't
pause it
a
right
movie.
there.
This ain't folklore.
Pause it
This
right
is
there.
American fact.
So what's disrespectful to me is that Jim Clyburn is from the same place as the baddest man who ever walked America. Because that's the baddest black, to me personally, it's my opinion, but he's the baddest black man. Muhammad Ali might come close, Jordan might come close, a couple of other civil rights heroes might come close. But when it comes down to tangible actions, to me, he is my favorite black male historical figure of all time, Robert Smalls. If you don't know anything about him, he was born in Beaufort, South Carolina in 1839. He was raised by Lydia Paulette. He moved to Charleston at 12 from Beaufort, and he learned how to do ship navigation. He was married to a free sister by the name of Hannah Jones. He had 2 children, and he was determined to free them. He was a good man, so Hannah already had a child, and he ended up marrying Hannah, but he was still enslaved, and Hannah wasn't, and her child wasn't. He did one of the dopest moves in history, and I want everybody to just go over here and watch this video when you get a chance on the Clickbaity channel. And this is why he starts to become gangster. He's so gangster to me. This brother wore a Confederate captain's coat. He picked up his family and other families, black people's families. He sailed the planter. It was a planter boat. He sailed it past 5 Confederate checkpoints while dressed as his owner. I'm not owner, but the guy who enslaved him, while dressed as the man who enslaved him. This bro took the boat in the middle of the night and snuck past 5 Confederate checkpoints and got out to the ocean where the Union boats were and surrendered a red flag and gave the Union a boat, right? He helped the Union win the war against the South. He actually created the opportunities for black people to be in the military by talking to Abraham Lincoln. Well, we don't understand how historically relevant this brother is. There was no black people in the American military until Robert Smalls had a conversation with Abraham Lincoln, right? He fought in 17 combat missions. He recruited thousands of black people to join the military. When he got out of the military, he bought his former enslavers' mansion in Beaufort, South Carolina. He bought the place that he was a slave at. And then the guy who enslaved him, he let his widow stay at the house. He was a South Carolina state representative. He was a part of the South Carolina State Senate, and he was a 5-term U.S. congressman during Reconstruction, right? The laws he wrote were interesting. He was one of the first black people in America to write a law for free public education for black children. He was one of the first black people to write a law for desegregation of public transportation. And he was one of the first black people to write a law on voting rights protections during Reconstruction. Robert Smalls, to me, was the baddest black man in American history. And I hope y'all enjoyed that. Please go watch the video. There's a graphic novel coming out about him, and he's one of the most and he was one of the most. He's my favorite character. He's my favorite historical figure. And the simple fact that James Clyburn is from the same state as him should piss South Carolinians off. That's all I gotta say about that.
I'm just talking, man. No, I was gonna say I love his story, the kind of backbone and spine and fortitude that you have to pull off what this brother pulled off. I think it's an outstanding story. Did you do like a top 5 of the baddest black men in American history?
It's coming, but I gotta do
Oh
a
yeah,
lot. Like I mean, to be honest with you, when it comes down to this guy, he's just on elite level, right? Like
for sure.
he escaped enslavement by water, bro. Like you know what? They were out getting drunk, and he just said, "Baby, get the boat, get the kids, yeah." Like, and literally, think about that, man. Think about the hours that it took him to get from Charleston Harbor to the Union and become free.
That's right.
Like,
and then run for office,
bro. Then you like took your you clowned the Confederacy so bad, bro. Nobody clowned the Confederacy at the level that Smalls did, man. Like he clowned white supremacy at its highest level by taking their property, escaping with his family as property, and becoming free, and then going back and buying the house that the
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, take down the Avatar.
Uh-oh. I gotta get it.
I'm y'all know I'm a super duper nerd, so Marcus, I'm glad you did that. On Black History is my thing, and he ain't my favorite, but he's one of them. And still just thinking about, like you said, how many checkpoints he had to go through, and also the fact that he just kept doing it. Like he wouldn't stop. Like 17 to go back 17 times is a story that they don't want to tell you about. Like, and actually, if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, man, nobody would have done this. This would have happened. Like it almost read like too like crazy to be real, except for it was. Then like the ice on the cake is, yeah, I own the house, and also, by the way, I'm elected official. That is mendacity. That is what it means to stand erect. Like that is who's your favorite? Somebody said Jordan. Come on, though. I hate Jordan. I'm from North Carolina, but I hate Jordan. Like I play serious about black people and their role. My favorite has to be it's too many.
Yeah, it's hard.
The old school black church, like black pastors from the old days. I mean, come on, man.
That's hard.
So many.
And the only reason that I have a favorite, is because
no, that story that puts him up there.
That's superhero stuff.
That's movie script. And when somebody told me his story by ear, like he just said, "You ever heard of this guy?" And I'm like, "What movie you done watched?" That's something that was out of Chat GPT. You know, I know about it way before Chat GPT, but it's just not realistic. It's almost not realistic, that story, right? There's a story that's about a brother from Tampa, Florida, who went over and beat the American military in the Philippines as a Philippine colonial leader. That the story is coming out. I don't want to do that first. There's another story about a black woman assassin that was from Kentucky that ended up like murking like 40 people in World War I. Like there's a lot of stories, but the one that got me was the one about a brother who
Candy Girl. Yeah, Candy Girl, you shouldn't be surprised. On Candy Girl at 9:30 said she's surprised there haven't been a film. They don't make films about superhero black men that are based on true stories. That would go against the narrative of America telling you that we are shiftless, lazy. Like it goes against the narrative of what it means to be American when you see upright black men. This is why they had to tear Bill Cosby down so hard. This is why they had to go so hard at that brother. I listen, man. I'm super excited about. You said there's a graphic novel coming out about Robert Smalls.
There's a graphic novel coming out about Robert Smalls. There's a graphic. Listen, like there's a couple of graphic novels that are coming out about, because man, listen, our history is absolutely lost, right?
Yeah.
Like They didn't even tell the story of Amistad the correct way, right? Like we have had so many heroes, and like you got to understand something. Harriet Tubman wasn't the only person on that Underground Railroad taking people up out of here.
Right.
People understand it, and then they don't talk about the stories about how they were taking black people were taking themselves on adventures from Mississippi, Arkansas, and getting up out of here through Texas. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about where the Underground Railroad went, how some brothers, when the West expanded, how there was already some black people already in LA. How you got out here? Like people were, and we're talking about not just the 18, because everybody thinks the Underground Railroad was the 1800s. Black people have been escaping slavery since this country has done slavery. That means that, some historical figures that lost slaves: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Damn near everybody who owned a slave lost one. And each one of them cats got a story.
That part. Yeah. No, that's a dope. I'm looking forward to that graphic novel and somebody telling that story as a movie, because that's badass. That's the only way I could say it. That's fire. I can't think of somebody. Like I'm thinking like who would be my favorite, like,
oh wow.
I can't even think of it. I mean above, it's hard to top that story.
Jackie Robinson, right?
No, all of them are great, but like in the category of what he did, I gotta go research. I gotta go study.
I mean,
you said Jack Johnson?
Yeah, if you're not,
give us free Cinque. That's another one of those stories.
That's right.
But then you got Nat Turner. You got brothers who wrote like James Cone. You got James Baldwin. You got, the list. I don't know, man. I think for me, it's like contributions matter, and I appreciate that people, for Marcus, that you remind people that Underground Railroad includes some people that never touched dirt once they left Africa. They just jumped off the water, and their passage was through the water, right? So they literally they escaped slavery by killing themselves. And by
the way, some of them people didn't die.
So, that part.
You see what I'm saying? Like some of them jumped off the boat and swam somewhere else.
So I think I don't know, man. I think, it's so rich, but the problem of it's so scattered because
that part
it's intentional, right? Like you can't have everybody or access to that kind of language being readily available, because it, like I said, it puts holes in the myth of white supremacy.
That part. And they can't have that.
There's something that we got to do for us folks who believe in reparations. There was a movement in the 70s by a lot of white small towns to get rid of the record books for black people. And if you go into some of these small towns, like I went to Batesville, Mississippi, and looked up the registry of my family, and luckily we were still there. But there's a lot of towns that just don't have that. That like our history was literally erased. And it's between Ancestry.com, who's going to sell your genetics to China, and they're going to be making a whole underground country of everybody who's watching this show right now. And
what's that? What movie is that?
I forgot. Not Get Out, but
one of those movies.
Yeah. So like between that, like we're gonna have to figure out how to maintain our history, and the history comes from what? The griot, the storytellers. And we are, fellas, Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, us three, we are modern day griots trying to bring it to everyone all the way live. Y'all got anything else? Because I got to get up out of here.
Nah, man.
It's the second. It's about to be the second week of Shark Week, man. And my wife is in there, so.
Oh, Shark Week. Here, let me read these super chats real quick. OANN, with all these ICE agents, raids, and detentions, how many of these Project 2025 people have stock in Core Civic and Geo Group, and people are broke and got to work 2 jobs and can't take off to protest, Mondale? This was way back earlier in the conversation.
Yeah, I think this is a flawed statement simply because Donald Trump supported. I remember I read this comment when it was posted. It was about when we were talking about Donald Trump not people not showing up to Donald Trump. These same people were at rallies 2 days early. This has nothing to do with work. Like Marcus said, they poor. They just like to think they're rich. Some of them ain't got jobs. Some of them ain't got jobs. So I don't buy into this idea that they need a reason not to protest. If they want to protest, they ran in the Capitol with cameras on. They ain't about that.
Yeah, that's what I said about them. I said, and this is the first thing I said about it. I said, I bet they won't run up and they won't storm the Capitol over this the way they did January 6th. But if they did, I might go with them. Here's the next one. Oh, y'all need to read up. This is from Infinite Content as well. Oh, y'all need to read up on Eugene Bullard, soldier, horse racer, boxer, pilot, spy, and more, and all during World War I and World War II. First black pilot in World War I, for sure. Definitely take a look at that. That sounds like another monster story that we're not
Eugene
told.
Bullard. Hey man, hey, Infinite Content. Would you text me that information? You got my information, bro. Text me that. I think I'll do a video on that next. I think I'm gonna do that.
Dope.
Right there.
That's dope.
Okay.
And then this guy, because I don't have membership on my channel, so this be a new member to either Clickbait or to your channel, Marcus. Sellouts became a YouTube member. So thanks for joining up and signing up and supporting the team, man. That's it for us, man. Anybody got anything else to go? Or we're gonna hit this music.
Let's hit this music. Have a great week, y'all.
Hey, y'all send up them squirrels and them acorns, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad, yeah, I see